Alright, so like my last video, I just recently put out a video going over all the American Hollywood anime live action films, TV shows that are currently in the works, on the way, and up and coming. They are being made as we speak. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to do a little backtrack / follow-up to that video and go over all the American Hollywood anime live action films that we've already made and that's already out there for the world to see. Because there's not that many, but some of the ones on this list will surprise you, trust me, because they sure as hell surprised me. So before we get on with the list, if you guys are interested in this topic, even in the slightest bit, please consider subscribing, as I've dedicated my entire channel towards this, that being anime live action, of course. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so to start this list off, where it all started, where Americans committed the ultimate sin of taking anime and making it into live action film. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, to start this list off, the first anime live action film that we Americans, Hollywood, ended up adapting was a movie called The Guyver, based on, of course, the series Guyver. And that was in 1991, followed up 3 years later with a sequel called The Guyver Dark Hero in 1994. And then 1 year later, we got a Fist of the North Star live action adaptation in 1995. And in that same year, we also got a Crying Freeman live action adaptation in 1995. Now, for this film, it's a French-Canadian production, but I just put it here because given the context and substance and, you know, Canada's literally like the neighbor of the US, so whatever. Alright, so the next anime live-action film that America would produce would come over a decade later in 2008 with a film called Speed Racer, which upon looking into, I've realized there's a lot to talk about with this film. Apparently, a lot of people consider it underrated, and you know, I have some stories to tell that I remember when this movie initially came out, way back when, but yeah, so definitely expect some Speed Racer content coming soon. And then of course 1 year later, we would deliver the travesty that haunts anime fans to this day. That is the film known as Dragon Ball Evolution, coming out in 2009. And then we followed it up with another travesty 1 year later. Another one, cause DJ Khaled said another one. But in 2010, we got the film that also haunts every anime fan. That is a film called The Last Airbender. Now I know it's based on Avatar, and that depends on if you consider Avatar an anime. I mean, it's a Korean animated show, but I know some people like to consider it anime, so I just put it here because of that. Anyways, so shortly after that, in 2013, we got a movie called Old Boy, which is a manga live action adaptation of the franchise / manga Old Boy, directed by Spike Lee. Yes, that's right, you heard it first. Spike Lee directed an anime live action film. Of course, you know your boy is gonna be making videos about that. So be sure to stay tuned and subscribe if you want to hear more about that. And then not long after, in 2017, we actually got 2 anime live action films from Hollywood, Ghost in the Shell, and of course, Netflix's Death Note. So that was a pretty good year for anime live action. I mean, despite popular opinions, I have made videos talking about the live action Death Note, so be sure to check those out if you want to hear more of my in-depth takes. But I actually have a pretty positive perception of the Ghost in the Shell movie, and I'm gonna be making videos on that, trust me, but these things take time. Anyways, last but certainly not least, the most recent Hollywood anime live action film we have gotten currently up to date is Battle Angel Alita, coming out in 2019. Produced by James Cameron, I'm sure you've all heard of him, you know, the filmmaker that made Avatar. It was at one point the highest grossing film of all time, and also directed by Robert Rodriguez, who, you know, directed the Spy Kids movies and stuff. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this list. And before y'all comment Edge of Tomorrow, please do some research. I'm gonna be doing a video on that movie and its relationship to All You Need Is Kill in the future. So if you want to hear more about that, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for when that comes out. But in the meantime, Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video, it helps me out a ton. And as I mentioned earlier, subscribe if you are new, it also helps me out a ton. Be sure to hit that bell to stay up to date with all the live action anime content that I'm going to be bringing you. And until then, I'll see y'all in the next video.